What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so recently, Stephen A. Smith appeared on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, Gil's Arena, and confirmed, and I guess what most of us reiterated, what we already thought and knew, and that is that his relationship with LeBron James is over. There's no coming back. There is no relationship. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. As a matter of fact, Stephen A. Smith said, and I quote, "There's no relationship. He doesn't like me, and I don't like him. There's nobody who can mediate. I don't talk about him unless I'm asked." Some people say, well, why do you talk about him? Because I was asked. This is what I do for a living. So how the hell am I going to get away with saying no comment? He went on to say, I have no desire to talk about him. He is, in my mind, the second greatest player in the history of basketball. He's been an incredible ambassador to the game of basketball. His respect has been earned, not given, but that's the basketball player, not the man. Behind the scenes, Smith says the situation is far more personal and far more toxic. Without giving specifics, he referenced alleged efforts to damage his reputation and made it clear he'd be perfectly fine never speaking to LeBron again. People don't know the things that have happened behind the scenes, the kind of things that have been engaged in an effort to hurt me. There's a lot of ish that I know that I don't say. If I never ever speak to him again in life, I'm good with it. Well, we all know that it was I think sometime in March, it may have been now, late February or March. I can't remember exactly when, but I think it might have been the very end of February into March when Stephen A. Smith, fresh off of the announcement of $100 million deal with ESPN, was seen with some friends of his. And was it at Madison Square Garden? Because I'm a little bit fuzzy now where they were. I think it was Madison Square Garden. I think the Lakers were playing there. LeBron happened to spot Stephen A. Smith in the stands, had somebody that was from his camp have a phone or a camera or video recorder of some sort and recorded him, LeBron, deboing Stephen A. Smith, standing over him, trying to look tough, berating him or whatever. All because of the fact that Stephen A. Smith said one thing about his son that he didn't like, which was, why are you putting your son through this? Which, to be honest with you, a lot of us were thinking, because at the time, he was playing like absolute shit. Now, to be honest with you, considering all of the hype that his son gets, his son's still playing like shit. You could argue it's more like the light crud doo-doo that's on the bottom of his shoe rather than the thick cow pasture shit that he was playing like last year, but it's still shit. Just different gradients of shit. But that's all, because Stephen Smith went out his way to not talk about his son. So what you really did, what a lot of us said, was that you was really just you really was the nigga came out of LeBron James. He saw Stephen A. Smith fresh off of his deal, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Having those months and months and months, if not years, of negotiations, resulting in the biggest deal in cable sports, right? And here you come shitting on his parade, ruining his day, trying to belittle him in front of his friends is what you try to do. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. I understand 100% what Stephen A. Smith talking about. And look, I don't like Stephen A. Smith. I can't stand him. I think that he's the worst type of jig you can think of. I think he's an absolute jig, but almost every Negro compared to LeBron James, I will favor over that clown. Just about. I think the one guy that I might take over LeBron James, the one guy I would take LeBron James over is that damn Jason Whitlock and a couple other. But yeah, LeBron does a lot of sneaky, underhanded bullshit behind the scenes, man. He's a scumbag. He's done a lot of things to hurt players. He moves like a wannabe mob boss, and like I said before, once he finally retires and his power and influence begins to wane, that's when you're going to start hearing more about the stuff that he's done behind the scenes. And a lot of people who are not the fanboys and not part of the cult and are more objective and do their research, they're going to be shocked. But I'm not going to be, because I've heard some of the stuff. There's some stuff that I know that he's done that I haven't heard about. But I've heard some rumors about some stuff that he's done. He's ruined players' careers for petty shit. He's ruined NBA players' careers for the most petty crap possible, bro. He's a scumbag, man. I'm telling you. He's not a hero. And I find it very interesting that a lot of his fans have incorporated a lot of his negative personality traits, if you really pay attention to it. Arrogance, haughtiness, not in a good way. Just, smart alecky, just proud of being ignorant for the sake of being ignorant. Grown man trolls, just the A all B all. But yeah, man, now to be fair, I'm gonna say this to end this video. Stephen A. Smith has done a lot of stuff himself over the years. So he's no innocent victim himself. He's done a lot of things that I think have hurt a lot of brothers. The first person that comes to mind is Kyrie Irving. Colin Kaepernick comes to mind. Now, I know a lot of people have controversial views about Colin Kaepernick, but still, it's like Stephen A. Smith has done a lot of things to hurt brothers over the years too. Because of what Terrell Owens has said to him. Terrell Owens is banned from ESPN. He hasn't been on ESPN since 2019. So, we know what time it is. Tell me what you guys think.